You haven't, and that's why I said I wanted to speak with you, because I don't believe you've ever shown us anything that is false, because we can verify it ourselves. But it's just, I want to know the truth. I don't really care about certain things. I just want to know the truth. As long as I know the truth, then I am like, I'm okay. Like, I don't care what the truth is. I just want to know. Okay, I can see Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl, sorry, got engaged to her, didn't marry her, married her at 9 years old. That's
No, no,
okay.
no, 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 no. That's not true. He married her at the age of 5, actually, not 6. 6 in the Islamic calendar is 5 in our calendar. This is number one. Number two, she was sent to his house when she was 6, not when she was 9. In fact, the mother of Aisha, she had to force Aisha to eat a cucumber and date so she can get fatter so she can be sent to Muhammad because she is so small. If we go in the hadith here, you will see the following. Let me find you the hadith. Here we go. And this is Sahih. Can you read it?
Yeah. You want me to read it out loud?
Yeah?
My mother was trying to fatten me up when she wanted to send me to the Messenger of Allah. When she got when she got married, but nothing worked until I ate cucumbers with dates. Then I grew plum, like the beast kind of plum. Oh, the best kind of plum. Sorry, I've got my contacts, not my glasses on today. The best kind of plum. The best kind of plum.
So, is she, is she, I mean, are we talking about a chicken? Are we talking about a sheep to be sent to the butcher? So what was the problem? To send her to Muhammad. Her body is so small. Correct?
I don't know how you can have sex with a small child.
Well, no,
It's
there is, but you never heard of pedophiles? There's pedophile everywhere, even like, in we as a Christian, we witness there's some priests, they are like Muhammad, and they will go to jail, and mostly they will be killed there. So there is pervert people, pervert. They use religion to, to take advantage of people, and Muhammad is one of them.
But if he was a pedophile, it would have meant that he would have married other children too, but he didn't. He only
We
married
know
one child. So.
what we know is what Muslim they wrote for us, and what we know that Muhammad obviously is a pedophile, isn't it? Him, he says to Fatima, if she grow up, when she grow up, I will marry her. Grow up what? She will become 5. What about the story?
Mm,
What the story of Jabir? Jabir, you know, he got married from a woman,
yeah.
and Muhammad he told him, "Hey Jabir, why you are in rush to go home?" He
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
"Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm newly married, and obviously the guy is happy. He is not complaining. He did not say anything." So Muhammad he said to him, "Why you marry a widow? Why you do that? Why you don't marry a child so she can sport with you and you can sport with her?"
I've
So
heard about this one, but it was presented to us in a positive light. I believe it was Sheikh Suleiman that was talking about it, but he had a positive spin on it, and he said the Prophet said it's okay to marry a widow, but it's better for you to marry somebody who's young so you can grow up and play together. That's what it was
no,
spin
okay, well,
as.
hold on. The guy, first of all, is already married. He's not complaining. Muhammad saying to him, "Why you don't marry a child so she can play with you?" What is the reason? To play. You play with her and she play with you. You see, the man here, he is not complaining. He did not say, "Muhammad, I marry a woman, she is." No. So Abdullah died and he left behind him 9 or 7 daughters. I married a woman whom had previously married. Allah Messenger said to me, "Jabir, have you married?" I said, "Yes." He said, "A virgin or a previously married?" He said, "Previously married." Whereupon he says, "Why you don't marry a child, not a young girl, so that you could sport with her and she could sport
Mm,
with you. So, what is the reason for this advice? Sport. And you, you could amuse with her and she could amuse with you. Pedophile. This is what the pedophile think about. Pedophile, they are amused with the children's. And because it's easy to amuse the children, you give them candies, they like it. They cry, they stop crying. Give them some cake,
mhm,
candy, Barbie, you know. I said to him, and now he's saying to him why he did not marry a child. He said, Abdullah, he fell murder in Uhud, and he left 9 or 7 daughters behind him. Therefore, I did
mm,
not approve the idea that I should bring a girl like them. Do you see it?
yeah.
But I preferred a woman who should look after them. So what Muhammad is asking
Okay.
the man to do? To marry a girl like them.
Mhm.
Who are they, those them? The orphans. But the man is more wise than Muhammad. He is not pervert. So he said, I prefer to bring a woman to look after them.
Can I ask you something, CP?
Go ahead.
If if I believe, okay, I'm not doubting what we've discussed today. It's just a lot to process. But if this is all true, and then why there's so many Muslims? Like
Because most of
why
Muslims are ignorant.
this?
Most of Muslims are ignorant. They don't know what we're talking about. I mean, the guy, he was here. You heard him? He said, why you are asking this culture? They don't know. They don't know their head from their feet. So this guy, he is so upset because you are talking to me. He hate me, but he don't want to listen and see if I'm saying the truth or not. And the other thing is, anything you show Muslim right away, they say da'if. So Islam is da'if. That is other reason to believe Islam is false. They keep saying to us, Islam preserved. Islam preserved, the word of Allah preserved, but the word of Allah is the word of Muhammad too. Because Muslims, they
Mm,
receive the word of Muhammad, by that they receive the word of Allah, not the opposite. Allah never spoke to
mm,
them. So if Islam is full of da'if, what so-called corrupt hadith, then how they keep lying to everybody saying Islam is a preserved, Quran is a preserved? That you are not, because Quran itself is a hadith.
mhm.
What I notice about Muslims, that the majority of them didn't know, and the one who knew, he got scared to say I know. Who dare?
Mm, mm.
Who dare to say I know that Muhammad is a pimp, I know that Muhammad is a fraud, I know that Muhammad is a child molester? You yourself, you can't say what you are saying because you don't live in Saudi Arabia or you live in
No,
Iraq. If you live in Iraq, you will be dead in 2 minutes.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Um,
And
a lot of
Islam is
people.
peace. Remember, Islam is a peaceful religion.
Well, yeah, that's what we say. Islam is peace. Although I do understand that it does mean submission. And I didn't grow up with the idea that Islam was peace until I came to the UK. So, um, I don't know. So I, I don't know. Uh, Thanks for helping and answering some of the questions.
Well, I'm happy that you agree with me that Muhammad obviously is a fraud. And I invite you in front of everybody to accept the Lord, the Messiah. When we speak about perfection, you look at the Messiah, not at me, not at someone
Yeah,
like Muhammad.
I've been reading a lot about Christianity, um, and my doubts, and my questions arose from the fact that this is maybe presumptuous to say, and maybe a bit too forward to say, but I had a dream, and that's what sparked my questioning. Aside from that, I don't think I would have ever moved from the position where I was. I think I would have lived my entire life not questioning anything. So like it sparked me to read, but then I've been conflicted. So like personally, it's easier for me to stay as a Muslim because my whole community is Muslim. and you know, so like I won't have to change anything. I won't, you know. Um, so for me, that's. But I have read, you know, like the Old Testament and parts of the New Testament, and what from what I see, it's lovely is an understatement. Profound is probably the closest thing that I could say. It's certainly different to the Quran in terms of the way it reads. It's certainly the messagings are aside from the Old Testament, the New Testament is very very beautiful, if I can use that word to say, like, you know, it has some really lovely messagings, and that I think, oh wow, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who wrote this, but there's some truth in it. Um, there's some harsh truths too. But I've accepted the Quran for so long, and that I've, you know, chosen to live my life like that for so long. It's hard for me to make a detour and declare something that is other than what I was brought up into. And you know, I get the message of Christ. I get it. It hits me quite deeply. Maybe that's why I feel the need to ask questions from people outside of my faith and outside of my community, because I need to hear a different voice.
Well, Amina, you heard the voice of Jesus then if you saw a dream, not my voice. So
No.
wouldn't you answer Christ if he called you in a dream? What are you waiting for? I mean, uh, you know Muhammad is false. Now you are convinced he is not the one to follow. Now we have all the proofs we needed to know, and you agree that the Messiah is amazing. And even the Old Testament, by the way, you see, the Old Testament is a book of history, not only a book of God. And because you are reading about history, and history of man is ugly, it's not the
Very
history
ugly.
of God is ugly. The history of the man is ugly. So the Old Testament is a book of history of the man with God. And history
Yeah.
always ugly. But it's not the Old Testament, it's ugly. It is the man.
Mhm.
The man who did all kind of sin, all kind of filth. So God never changed. God is always beautiful.
Mhm.
Man is always bad. And if we are not bad and we need the good God to save us, then why even the Messiah will come to us? That's why we call him the Savior, because we need to be saved, not because we are saved. If we are saved, he will not come. There is no need. And God will not send a prophet, he will not send books, we will not teach, we will not do anything. We are saved. But this is not the scenario. We are people who commit sin, and we should not follow a bad person like Muhammad, for that will make us more deep in sin. Muhammad justified killing just for his agenda. Muhammad justified rape, child molestation, pedophile, lying, fornication. He gave a different name. So now fornication become muta, prostitution become muta. But we know that
Yeah.
you pay a woman money to have sex with her. Cannot be called marriage. So Muhammad is satanic. He just gave different name for the same crime Satan he wanted us to do, in order to manipulate the truth and make the evil look good and the good look evil. When Muhammad complained, they said to him, shall we do what the same as the Christian do? They don't get married like the monk. He said, no, my religion is the religion of ifing. This is what Muhammad is, sunnat in nikah. You know, the Muslim, I don't know if you heard the Muslim arguing that Christian prince is lying, because a Christian prince, he said the word nikah mean to if. Do you think I'm lying when I say that?
I am skeptical about that because I've heard you say it, but I find that hard to believe more than I don't believe you. I think it's just not that I'm saying you're lying, and it's not because I'm afraid of insulting you. It's just more so I find that hard to believe that that's what nikah means, because it's meant to be so beautiful. When your friend gets her nikah done, it's like, oh, that's so amazing, my best friend,
My
or
sister, if you use a male name, go to chat room and say, "Hey guys, I want to do nikah," they will bounce you right away. If the word nikah, once I have a guy, he argued with me. He said you are lying. He don't speak Arabic. So I said, okay, go to the Arabic section in Paltalk. Type in the chat, Assalamu alaikum.